Breaking news coming out today that United States officials, they are readying for war, and they are telling Americans to evacuate in anticipation of upcoming war in the Middle East with the conflicts that are taking place. Headlines coming out today from NBC News saying that the U.S., they are readying for evacuations of Americans from Lebanon if the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah intensifies. And what we're hearing is that there is likely going to be an all-out war between Israel, Lebanon, as they are targeting Hezbollah in the nation of Lebanon. And Hezbollah is funded by Iran. And what we're hearing is that as these begin to unfold, we're hearing any day now, as Israel has pretty much given an all-out declaration of war. When this takes place, they're saying it will be to a scale the likes of which we have not yet seen war unfold in 2024, the year of war. And they're saying to anticipate this coming here very soon, with the United States getting involved supporting Israel, Iran getting involved supporting Lebanon, and they're saying that this is right around the corner. Now, in addition to that, I've also shared with you that we're hearing Canadian military is also planning evacuations as well. They're saying that there is preparation for evacuations. The U.S., Canada, they are beginning to send their military to the borders, preparing to evacuate their citizens out as they're anticipating war. Now, in addition to that, Israel, they have already warned that they can send Lebanon back to the Stone Age. Now, this comes as the UN and the United States are seeking to de-escalate the situation. And I've let you know, and also linked down below is the official website from the U.S. Department of Defense, as Lloyd Austin urges Israel to de-escalate the tensions on the border of Lebanon. They told them this 2 days ago, asking Israel to de-escalate the situation. Israel saying, no, we've had enough. After we wipe out Hamas, we're going to be heading to the north to take out Hezbollah. We're hearing that their troops are moving that way right now. And I've also shared with you that the U.S. is saying that they're currently concerned for Israel and the Iron Dome potentially being overwhelmed with all and everything that is taking place with potential war. But Israel coming out in a statement saying that they are ready for all-out war with Lebanon. And again, they're saying they're ready to send them back to the Stone Age. So things are definitely intensifying right now. And I'm going to get you caught up on the latest on this. And as always, these are linked in the description below. I cite all the sources, read right from them, so that way you know it's the latest. And I try to make sure that I can get you guys the latest, most accurate information. I see we've got 1,017 people with me live in the room. If you appreciate the updates, do me a favor, hit that like button. Also subscribe to stay up to date. And also wanted to share with you guys my apologies if you missed my my comment section here on the channel. I wanted to give an apology to everybody that I made a mistake on my live stream earlier. I had seen articles coming out. I thought it was breaking news that Israel had actually launched the offensive against Lebanon, dropping bombs. So I hopped on to share that. And then as I was reading the report, I started realizing that some of the information didn't sound right, and I thought I had the wrong article, and I read another one. Then afterwards, I double-checked, and I was very confused, and then I began to realize that it was not that Israel had dropped bombs on Lebanon today, that the breaking news that was coming out was just that there was satellite imagery of bombs that have been dropped since June 5th that have been taking place as Israel is creating what they're calling a dead zone, an area that has already been evacuated by the Lebanese, destroying villages, trying to provide a buffer along the border as they're beginning to prepare their assault, their offensive into Lebanon. And I realized that I had misinterpreted the article and that it didn't make sense to me while I was reading it live. Didn't realize what actually happened till afterward. So then I removed that live stream off of my channel and posted that apology for misinterpreting the article. So I made a mistake, and I wanted to make sure that you guys know that. Here on the channel, I try to make sure that I know there's so many channels out there that don't cite their sources, that don't provide updates, and don't do an adequate job of, providing the actual news. And if something is misquoted, they won't let people know. And so I don't want to be that. I want to be a channel that you guys can rely on and trust on. And I made a mistake. My apologies. Want to make sure that you guys are aware of what is actually taking place. So we are anticipating that Israel will be soon hitting Lebanon. They've said it's pretty much been an approved offensive, that there will be essentially a war taking place. There has pretty much been a declaration that has been made by Israel. We're seeing their tanks and their troops moving to the north, but no, it has not officially started yet. Now, when it does, I will be the first to let you know. But I just wanted to say today, it was my mistake, and I apologize to all of my viewers. Want to make sure that all of you guys know exactly what is going on, and you can get the latest information. And again, that is also part of the reason why I cite the sources, is so that way you can see, because there's a possibility that I might read or misinterpret something wrong. And I had a lot of people tell me, hey, I read the article, Steve, and that the bombs have been dropping since June the 5th, not in an offensive today. But the breaking news is just that imagery is showing that there is a 3-mile wide dead zone. So thank you to those of you that pointed that out for me. I appreciate you guys a ton. And so that has been removed. I had a lot of people thought that I was actually censored by YouTube. They thought that I was being taken down for exposing too much truth. That's not the case. I took the video down when I realized that I had misinterpreted the information. But let me go ahead and get you guys caught up on the latest. And if you guys appreciate that, do me a favor. We've got 1,300 people in the room. Please hit that like button for me. Just helps spread this out further so more people can get the information. Also, in addition to that, hit subscribe to stay up to date. It is totally free. Why not? I will keep you up to speed, cite all the sources, and also I'm going to be providing more resources, free resources linked down below, power grid failure guide, also pinned in the comments, steveramnews.com to stay connected off of social media platforms, on the newsletter, and also if you need additional medical kits, www.lifesavervault.com. If you or your family need additional meds, you don't want to be in a situation where there's potentially a cyber attack if things go down and you can't get a hold of those. I believe that we've got doctors and pharmacists in all 50 states now that can help you out if you are interested. So let me go ahead and get you caught up on the latest, though, as we move forward. And also, Unknown User X, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. You are awesome. Thank you for everything that you do and staying on top of things. Everyone, please subscribe. They said, thank you for that. Thank you for the support. You are awesome. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you up to speed on everything. And we also see James Ferguson on saying, all will kneel before the one true God, his son Jesus, believe it or not. Seth says, yo, thank you for the info. First time catching you live. Glad you're able to make it, Seth. Thank you, Steve, for all you do, says Heidi. You guys are welcome. Thank you so much for the support. I will keep you up to date. But let me go ahead and share with you the latest, as we are hearing all-out war is likely going to be coming here. It could be right now, today, could be in a couple days. We will see. But we're hearing things are about to intensify to a new level as Israel is on the offensive, saying they have had enough with these groups that have been hitting them, Hamas, Hezbollah, and they are out to eradicate these groups. Now, this article coming out today from NBC News that says the U.S. readies to evacuate Americans from Lebanon if fighting between Israel and Hezbollah intensifies. U.S. officials are increasingly concerned that Israel is going to carry out airstrikes and a possible ground offensive in Lebanon in the coming weeks. So any time now we're hearing, as Israel has essentially announced, they will be doing an offensive against Lebanon. However, the element of surprise is going to be there. They're not going to let us know exactly when that is going to take place, but we do know it is coming. Now, it says the Pentagon is moving U.S. military assets closer to Israel and Lebanon to be ready to evacuate Americans as fighting between Israel and Hezbollah is intensifying, according to 3 U.S. defense officials and a former U.S. official familiar with the plans. The USS Wasp, an amphibious assault ship, and Marines from the 24th Expeditionary Unit, which is special operations capable, moved into the Mediterranean on Wednesday yesterday to join the dock landing ship USS Oak Hill and another ship in their amphibious ready group, according to the Marine Corps. The Wasp will operate in the Eastern Mediterranean to be ready for a military-assisted departure and other missions, the officials have said. Now, the Wasp and the Marine Expeditionary Unit, they are also intended to project military power and to be deterrents to regional escalation, according to U.S. officials familiar with the plans. Now, the move comes as tensions continue to mount and cross-border fire increases between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. U.S. officials are increasingly concerned that Israel is going to carry out an airstrike and a possible ground offensive in Lebanon in the coming weeks, officials have said. Now, despite pressure from the Biden administration, Israel officials have remained firm in their desire to go after Hezbollah in Lebanon, according to U.S. officials familiar with the conversations. Israel hopes to create a 10-mile buffer zone above the Lebanese border, according to U.S. and Israeli officials. So that is what's taking place right now with these bombs that are dropping along the border. They are trying to create a buffer zone as they prepare their offensive. Also, unknown user X, thank you for the $10 super chat. You are awesome. Timothy McCoy, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, thank you for all that you do, brother. You are welcome. Thank you for the support. I will continue to keep you guys up to date. Appreciate that a ton. Now, Israel wants to move Hezbollah farther away from the border. So that's why they're doing this and is pushing for a diplomatic solution. But if that does not work, the Israel Defense Forces, they are ready to use force, as Israel officials have said. The goal is to return quiet to the northern Israel so that 60,000 Israelis who have left in the past 8 months because of Hezbollah rockets fires that go on in their home, officials have said. The Marines from the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit are trained to help civilians flee dangerous environments. The WASP also has offensive and surveillance capabilities and can deploy F-35s, U.S. long-range stealth fighters as well. The U.S. is also talking to close allies to coordinate evacuations and any coalition military operations, according to the U.S. defense officials. Israel Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has been in Washington, D.C. this week to meet up with top Biden administration officials. Iran and its Hezbollah proxies are not looking for an all-out war with Israel and prefer the current situation, which puts Israel under international pressure, according to the current and former U.S. officials and Western officials. The fighting in Gaza and in the north is draining Israelis' military, fueling international political division and building tensions with Israel allies. U.S. officials continue to say that they don't see evidence yet that a major escalation is imminent, but warn that it just takes one strike or one miscalculation to escalate the situation very quickly. The pressure on Israel to act from its citizens in the north is very real. One U.S. official has said, Israeli officials feel that the need to do something. U.S. officials have also said, and they feel the status quo is unsustainable. The U.S. is prepared to evacuate all of their citizens at this time. In addition to that, as I mentioned, Canada is saying they are ready to evacuate as well, as they are anticipating all-out conflict coming. Now, this comes, as I shared with you earlier today, and I'm going to go ahead and share it again with you, that there are articles coming out now that Israel is saying they are prepared for all-out war and that they are going to be taking Lebanon back to the Stone Age. As the UN and the U.S., they are seeking to de-escalate the situation. Now, as I mentioned, linked down below is the actual release, the statement that came out from Lloyd Austin urging Israel to de-escalate tensions on the border of Lebanon. Now, this article says, Israel has said that it does not want war with Lebanon, but it could send its neighbors back to the Stone Age, as the United Nations Humanitarian Affairs chief warned such a conflict would be potentially apocalyptic. We do not want war, but we are preparing for every scenario. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant told reporters on Wednesday yesterday in Washington, D.C. in that meeting, Hezbollah understands very well that we can inflict massive damage in Lebanon if a war is launched. Israel was capable of taking Lebanon back to the Stone Age, but we don't want to do that, he said. The border between the two countries has been daily exchanges of fire that has been taking place between Israel forces and the Iran-aligned Lebanese group Hezbollah since the current conflict in Gaza broke out on October 7th. Fears of a full-blown war grew this month after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel was preparing for a very tense operation on the border of Lebanon. Hezbollah's chief Hassan Nasrallah has also threatened a war with no restraint, no rules, and no ceilings in the case of a major Israeli offensive against Lebanon, which we are hearing is going to be coming. Gallant's language echoes rhetoric used by Benny Gantz, a former general and leader of the Israeli National Unity Party, who recently resigned from the war cabinet, citing the failure to agree on a plan for Gaza beyond the war. In a series of campaign videos ahead of the general elections in 2019, Gantz referred to sending the Palestinians enclave back to the Stone Age during the 2014 Gaza war, a campaign that he oversaw as army chief. Meanwhile, UN Humanitarian Affairs Chief Martin Griffith called Lebanon the flashpoint beyond all flashpoints. It's beyond planning. It's potentially apocalyptic, he told reporters in Genevieve, warning that a war involving Lebanon would draw in Syria and other nations as well. So also they're saying this will escalate the tensions. There is a lot of concern right now about what's going to be unfolding with Israel in the Middle East, because they're saying that if this takes place, this will pull in the United States, Syria, Lebanon will also pull in Iran, that there's going to be a lot of people that are involved in this conflict. And they're saying that it is pretty much a done deal, that this is going to be taking place, you guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, this coming out that the United States is preparing evacuations right now. Now, if you think that we are in World War III or that we are going to enter into it, put a 3 in the comments. If you think that we've got a chance to potentially de-escalate the situation, put a 4. But from what I'm reading right now, you guys, it sounds like the United States right now, they are preparing to get our own Americans out of Lebanon. Also, Canada is doing the same, and they're saying that this could be it, that this could be what takes us to that next level. They're saying that Israel is preparing for a level of war that they have not yet seen this year, that what they're currently going through with Gaza, what they're about to enter into with Hezbollah in Lebanon is going to be on a whole nother level. So I see all the 3s pouring in. Also, do me a favor, again, if you appreciate the updates, hit the like button. I think we only need like 60 likes to get to 1,000 with the 1,700 people in the room. I appreciate the help a ton. And I see somebody with praying hands. The Virtuous Woman 501 says, Father, help us. Bible proof, says Chris Colpin. Thank you, Steve, for your time and your work, says Shelia. You are very welcome. Hit that like a ton, says Born to Be Bad. Thank you for the support. Jesus Forgive Us, says Ripple369. Yes, and we will see what unfolds. I will keep you guys up to date every step of the way. And again, these are linked in the description down below. And the United States vocalizing their concern for Israel, saying they're concerned about what's going to be unfolding here for the nation of Israel, as they're saying the Iron Dome could be overwhelmed. Israel might not be aware of what is going to be hitting them, as they're saying that it might be substantial, something that they have not prepared for, might not expect, that the Iron Dome might be overtaken with what could be coming from Hezbollah. But at the same time, Israel saying they are ready for all-out war with Lebanon. They're saying they are not backing down, despite the requests from the United States, from the UN, for them to come to some sort of means of de-escalation through talks. They're saying they are ready for war. Matthew Schneider, thank you for the $10 super chat. Is it wrong for me to support Israel, he asks. Matthew, great question. I think that it really depends on what is your standard for how you identify as. Do you identify as a believer that is believing that these are God's chosen people? Do you also believe, or do you believe in the Quran? Do you believe that God's chosen people are Islam? Because a lot of it is religious war. There's also the whole territories that are involved. It gets very complicated and very deep. And with our Western minds, a lot of American society doesn't understand and thinks that it's about the war. There's all of these references to it and some of the things that are said, but a lot of it is religious as well. So it depends, are you a believer? Do you believe that Israel is God's chosen people? Do you believe that Christians are now, as the Bible says, engrafted in through adoption? The Bible says that originally that they believe that according to the Bible, that God's chosen people, there was a covenant that was made with Abraham that was passed on through his lineage, through Isaac and Jacob. So the Quran says that they believe it was through Abraham, then went on to his other son, not Isaac, Ishmael. So the Quran says that the promise went through Ishmael, The Bible says it went through Israel. And so it depends. What is your belief? What is your stance? What is your standards? What is it that you believe? And then as a Christian, you might believe that God's chosen people was the nation of Israel. And then in the New Testament, it says that we have been brought into that family as well as Christians, but we have been brought in by the spirit of adoption. And we have the new covenant in our hearts. There was the old covenant, there's the new covenant. And then with the Quran, that they believe different. So, and they also both believe that they are entitled to the land that they are fighting over. So this goes back thousands and thousands of years. It's been documented in the Bible. This is history on top of religious beliefs. There are various layers that are involved. So if you ask the question, is it wrong for me to support Israel? No, it's not wrong for you to support it. It just depends on what your stance is, what you believe. And there's a lot of different moving pieces that are involved in that as well. So great question. There's a lot to unpack there. But if you support Israel, there is nothing wrong with that. I hope that answers the question pretty well. Teresa says you better read the book of Revelation in the Bible. Yes. And so you got to understand, too, that from the Muslim perspective, they don't believe in the Bible and they don't believe in the book of the Revelation. They have their own doctrines, their own writings as well. So there's definitely a disconnect right there. The thing that brings them together is the belief in Abraham as the father that had the promise, the father of the faith. They both believe that Abraham was their father and that they received the promise. Star Lord, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that a ton. You are awesome. Thank you so much. We are in Revelation now, says Heidi. Let me know if you think that the rapture is nearer, says Marcus. So a lot of people saying that they understand. Very, very interesting. Let me know in the comments. Do you understand the biblical prophecy? And are you thinking that that's where we're in right now? If you think so, put a 1. If you don't understand it or you don't think that that's where we're at right now, put a 2. I'd be curious to see how many people are following this. If you're not following it, put a 2. Maybe you're not a believer or you don't think that that's where we're at. But if you do, put a 1. And I see a lot of ones pouring in, a lot of people saying that they are following this, they are believers, and they're reading the Bible, and they think that we are in biblical times right now, the end times. Also seeing a couple 2s as well. Some people saying either they're not following this or they don't think that we are currently in the end times. But definitely a lot more 1s and 2s pouring in as people are saying that they believe that we are seeing the fulfillment of biblical prophecy right before our eyes with everything that's taking place. Somebody saying that they don't understand. There's a lot to unpack if we got into the history and the religious aspects of it. It's very fascinating to me to see a lot of people claiming that things only started since 1948. And 1948 was when Israel became a nation. That's where a lot of people are claiming that they came in and they've taken the land that belonged to the Palestinians. But that is nowhere near the beginning of it. We go back to biblical times, thousands and thousands of years. There has been what they call occupation or the territory being taken over. So this goes way back. Jesus is my rock. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, what's going on, Steve? We've got new updates that it looks like Israel is preparing for war with Lebanon. They have not yet officially launched yet. That if you heard that in that previous live stream, I took that down because I misinterpreted. But they are preparing, and the United States is acknowledging that as they are telling Americans to get ready to get out of Lebanon. They are preparing evacuation methods right now. Judith Cenero, thank you for the $10 super chat. You are awesome. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you for that. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. Somebody said Trump is coming back. Let me know in the comments. Are you going to be watching the debate? That is going to be coming on in an hour and a half, 8 Central Standard Time. I believe they're airing it on CNN. I was going to see if there's a way that I can try to stream it on here and we could watch it together, but I'm not sure if I can do that or not, or if they're going to kick me off. I've heard that CNN is got pretty tight reins on things. I might try. We'll see. Let me know. Are you planning to watch it or not? Put yes. If you're not planning to watch it, put a no. Jesus is my rock. Thank you for that $2 super chat. You are awesome. I see people saying, yes, it's going to be CNN. People are saying it's rigged. Somebody saying, Sue Ellen's saying she's going to watch it on Fox. Is Fox airing it? I thought that it was coming through on CNN on YouTube, but I'm not sure. But if I can stream it through here, I will do so for you guys. I'm watching it through Patrick Bet David's YouTube channel, somebody said. Okay, cool. So maybe I can do it. Maybe I'll try to hop on and see if we can watch it. I believe it starts in an hour and a half, 8 Central Standard Time. Somebody saying CNN, Fox is airing it. They're saying, okay, so CNN, Fox, we'll see, because I was planning on watching that as well. Somebody said, you will be shut down. Benny Johnson streaming it on YouTube. CBS and other networks will air it too. Yes. Benny on the Benny Show won't, because you will be shut down, they said. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, was if I try to do that, are they going to shut it down? And I don't want my channel to get shut down. I like being able to share the news with people, and I try to be very conscientious about what it is I'm reporting and how I'm reporting it, and making sure I can do so accurately without there being any problems to me delivering it. Kilo Echo Sierra, thank you for the $10 super chat. Good info that you give out. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you so much. I will continue to keep you up to date. YouTube will shut it down, says Lenny Malley. All right, I won't risk it, but I will be watching it with the rest of you on other channels as well. Oh, Jamie said that this guy, Benny, said he's going to be contacting lawyers if they try to shut him down, that he's going to be suing. Wow. Okay, man. Yeah, I'm not going to get involved in all that. I'll just, if there's highlights or if there's talks about things that are important, I'll share them tomorrow for you guys, but I won't live stream it. So, because I want to make sure that, it would be great to do that. That would be awesome if I could hop on and I could watch it with you. But at the same time, I don't want to risk, long-term, the possibility of me continuing to be able to do updates, keep people informed about what's going on. Want to make sure that I keep the channel integrity there. So, I'm not going to do it. Rapture within a couple months, says Mark Winston. And let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to take the debate today? Now, they have put a lot of restrictions on it. So they're going to shut off mics when it's not people's time to turn, not people's time to talk. It's not their turn. Also, we heard that there will only be 3 people, Trump, Biden, and the moderator. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that, all these restrictions, do you like it when they got the back and forth banter where they're able to kind of interject and stuff, or do you want to just hear them speak, like almost like speeches? Let me know your thoughts. Now, I think it would be good to see and hear some of the policy opinions, but at the same time, I think it's also like a little entertaining to hear them just go back and forth and see how they do. I mean, I think that's a part of it as well. How are you going to do under pressure when you are dealing with leaders like Putin, Kim Jong-un? Are you quick on your feet? Are you able to think, be able to respond? Like, are you sharp enough? Do you have the mental capability to be able to respond quickly in these difficult situations? I think that's part of it. So I think that by them putting all these restrictions, it kind of takes it away a little bit. But at the same time, then it can also help them, really touch on policy. But also it could be scripted as well. That's the difficult thing. Is I think I saw somebody in the comments put that it could just be memorizing scripts or doing a speech. That's going to be, not so great. I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering if tonight's debate might be might not be so good, but we'll see. I'm very curious. Heidi saying that, that Biden can't handle it without medications. The debate is going to be very interesting. Get your popcorn ready, says Michael Anthony. Peace be still, says Trina Woodling. Yeah, we will see what unfolds. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything, and also I'll be watching as well, and make sure that we see what happens with potential war, as every day it seems like things are escalating. But I will keep you guys up to date, you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. And again, my apologies for any misunderstanding and misreporting. I will, if I ever do so, I will let you guys know right away as soon as I find out. But I will keep you up to date on everything. I will cite the sources, make sure you know what's going on, and provide as many resources as I can to help you out at this time. But you guys, that is the latest. Thank you so much for everything. God bless. I'll catch you later, and I will be watching the debates with you. Catch you in the next one. Take care. This is Steve.